Big day today, guys. Going to a new riding area with my buddies Rich and Jay. We're going to Wrentham. I know it has a lot of rocks because it's in Massachusetts. Beyond that, I haven't really heard too much about it, except that it's very technical and difficult. Typical traffic for a early Sunday morning during the COVID shutdown. Nothing to see on the roads, really, except for a driver here or there, all of whom, by the way, drive with the worst manners I've ever seen. That has not changed, pandemic or no pandemic.
You know where you're going, right?
Oh yeah. So right out of the parking area, it is definitely rocky and bumpy. You can see that since I changed the rebound damping per Brian Gillen's advice, I can keep the roll speed much higher or stay on the gas through all this stuff. It is so much easier without the deflection, so much more confidence. Really enjoyable. Okay, that was a little embarrassing. You'll see that not only do we obviously have no idea where we're going because we've never been here before, also it was very difficult because the trails were not particularly well marked. Not a lot of blazes out there for us to follow, nothing particularly helpful at the intersections, and also nothing about whether it's two-way or one-way. As it turns out, it is two-way. And as it turns out, we just kind of rode whatever trailers we could find, which was fun, but not as much fun as a nice big loop like at Clough or even Foxborough. So far, guys, I'm feeling just great. Really happy to be back out on the bike. Very happy with the front suspension. I adjusted the rear suspension, which was off, so I need to change that, which I'll do in a minute. But usually when I'm on a ride with Jay, I ride like crap and I fall over all the time. This looks like I will be able to break the streak. Let's see. Alright, so I'm not going to break the streak, but I think I will do better than I have in the past. I still think that.
You okay?
Don't forget to stand up on the climb. Very important. Okay, so this was a really difficult climb, not the easiest place to start the ride. And, you know, normally this would be like I would ride like this for the rest of the day. Not carrying any speed, just trying to inch along, spazzing out in first gear for no reason. But surprisingly enough, it gets better. It really does. I mean, after this horrible part, it gets better. It's not better yet. Later it's better.
Heart rate's up.
Yeah, good. Heart rate's good.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm good now. Got that out of the way.
I said it got better, I said the bike is great. Now, here you finally start to see it. These ups and downs, by the way, really steep. That part was a lot of fun. Steeper than a lot of the stuff at Foxborough, and really a blast. Thank goodness that the suspension is mostly sorted. Otherwise, this would have been completely terrifying. Alright, here we go. Let's see some speed, let's see some fun. So if you listen carefully through this section here, you can hear me grabbing actually fourth gear and then going into some whoops, which if you watch the video from the Sand Lapper in South Carolina, you will see that the suspension here is totally different. Thank goodness I finally properly adjusted it. Now I can get through these with some semblance of control. Speed, I don't know, definitely some more control. All through here you can see. Much, much better. Morning. Yeah, so you can see not the smoothest ride through there because of my lack of technical ability and skill, but kept the speed up, carried the momentum through there, kept the gas more or less on, which is a big change, and also I think due mostly to a lot less deflection on the front end and just being able to soak up more of those bumps. As we kept going through these whoops, I started to think maybe I wanted to make a change on the damping in the rear. I had reduced the rebound damping before we came out today, and I think I went a little bit too far. The next time we stop at the trail, I'll break the screwdriver out and make a little change to that. Just ripping down this trail. This is really fast for me, especially since I've never been here before. But like I say, everything was feeling good and cruising along. The trail starts to kind of die out, and then all of a sudden, hey, we're in someone's backyard. Okay, that's not cool. I'm gonna take advantage of the stop in the action to make that suspension change I was talking about. Watch closely, see an expert at work.
I was like, that was quick. We're already back to the parking lot? No.
Quick adjustment.
You do you. Which bike is that? Is that the cleaner? Must be fun following me. One leg on the peg, one leg off, both feet off, in the woods, out of the woods.
Chris Arbor. So he shows up and he's like, oh, there's trails out back? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, take me out there. So I go out there and I'm like, burr, burr, burr. And I get in this straight and I'm like, I pin it and I like hit a rock and I'm like, "Rah!" He's like, oh yeah, I got that on video. Yeah. What you adjusting, Sunshine?
What's that?
What you adjusting?
Well, I got some advice to reduce the rebound on my front fork, and it like changed the bike. So I thought maybe I'd back off on the shock a little bit, rebound, but it's horrible. So I'm putting it most of the way back to where it was.
I let Nate ride this, then he adjusts it, and I jump on it. I'm like, ah, okay.
I've not turned a dial on any of my bikes ever.
Jay, can you imagine if like Kyle heard what he just said? It's like, I just let Nate ride my bike, and you know he sets the settings, and then I'm good.
That's true. I'm always real fast in my mind, so that's all that matters.
So I want to see if I can find the yellow blazes again.
Okay. Well, this wasn't... I don't know if you knew this guy. We're going to stop by, get some breakfast.
Alright, so once again I focus on the totally embarrassing parts. I made the suspension even softer and then immediately thought it was great and much stiffer. What an idiot. Back shock better. Now, making my way through these rocks here, I was very happy to be able to stay on the gas and jump over stuff, you know, wheelie through, carry the front wheel, keep the momentum up, keep accelerating. Just a lot of confidence in the bike and really comfortable at a place I'd never ridden before, which was awesome. One of the things I really liked about Wrentham was it had a lot of these really short technical climbs. They were demanding technically, but not physically. Over them in just a few seconds, so you don't get completely exhausted, and you can still maintain proper technique. And since there were a lot of them, you had practice. It was kind of like doing intervals or drills. I really enjoyed it, and it made a pretty short loop still fun and interesting to ride. Yeah, this section here is another pretty good example of what I'm talking about. Some steep ups and downs, very rocky, little mud, and as soon as you finish one, it seemed like you were right back in another. Another thing you notice is that because the climbs were relatively short, you could actually see sort of the line from beginning to end. It really encouraged me to keep the speed up, which is important for me to get faster overall. That last drop off there was one of several throughout the loop, and they really were actually quite big. I think if I go back, I'll be bolder, but this time around I was a little timid, caught by surprise. addition to the drop-offs, you've seen a couple of the steep downhills. A few of them, maybe 4 or 5, were legitimately really steep. If you put the brake on, you're going to go over the handlebars. They were also very entertaining, a little scary. What was new for me there, you could probably barely hear it, but even going downhill, I was letting out the clutch and applying a little bit of gas, which when you're pointed straight down, it does take a little bit of courage and also confidence in the bike. I'm happy I have that. That's a change from maybe 2 months ago. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you rode almost exactly parallel to a route? I think I keep crashing. Why would you keep sending me first? It is, I think, an interesting dynamic of our rides. I do crash more than anybody, and I think I'm probably the slowest guy out there, close to it. But somehow, I always end up going first. I assume that's because I'm a lawyer, but I'm not totally sure. And honestly, I'm actually usually happy to go first. Although it is pretty fun to follow guys, especially because I can pick up on some of their tips and tricks for how we can get through the woods just a little bit smoother and hopefully a little bit faster. Of course, riding up front means you have to make decisions. They're not always good. Man, this is like the never-ending downhill. It just keeps going and going and going. There were a few open, fast sections, top of third, fourth gear, that I really enjoyed, and I was just having a lot of fun. Not so many rocks, but enough obstacles to keep it interesting. And I was feeling good, so I was jumping off of them here and like there. Really, you just feel free and flying around the woods with your buddies. This made it a great day. coming up here, we start to get back into the more typical diet for the day. I'm surprised that I can't hear Jay and Rich behind me. I know they're there. It's amazing how the sound of the bikes just disappears in the woods, even when you're flying like this. So after a little ways, we get to the next trailhead, and I experience something that's very unusual for me. I'm at the front, but I'm by myself. This is a cause for great celebration. I'm going to watch every single second of this. I was totally psyched.
That can only mean I'm lost.
I had a real sense of accomplishment, although I did actually wonder if I was lost. This is a moment of insight for me as I look at my watch, which isn't on my hand, it's on the bars. This helps me realize what it's like to be Jay. You ride, it's fun, you stop, you wait, you look around, nothing happens, and then finally everyone else shows up. Alright, so we got the band back together, we got rolling down the trail, and I realized that my back brake was sticking on. It's going to require a little bit of mechanical intervention, so I played it the way I almost always do. Check it out.
You want to mess with the brake? It only takes like 5 minutes. Why don't we at least grab the wrench and bring it with us? Let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do it. Let's fix this thing. Gotta dive in here, grab the wrench, head back to Jay's truck and get this thing sorted out. Gotta make sure to pick up the trash the other people leave. That's always important. Keep the place clean, you know, it's good for the sport.
I need a 10 as well. Sorry.
Oh, Nate, by the way, I finally washed my inserts on my helmet.
Really?
It's only been a year plus.
Kind of exciting.
It was. I just put it back in. I'm like, how did these go?
Yeah, that's the problem. Needle nose?
Yeah.
You can tell I put my tools back where I need them.
You knew where it was.
Yep.
You're turning the 12.
Yeah, I'm turning both.
Are you getting both? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
These things in,
Give that a try.
Alright, so after that stunning display of generosity by Jay and ingratitude by me, we switch over to the other side of the road, check out the second part of Wrentham State Forest. Alright, so this side seems to be basically the same as the first side. Bony, technical, no real good markings for where we're going. You kind of have to left, right, okay, right. And no clear indication of which way is like the correct way of travel, you know, the whole one-way, two-way question. So at any time, I suppose, somebody could be coming around one of these corners going 35 miles an hour. Okay, so we didn't come across any head-on collisions, but we did have some surprises that were pretty cool. Like this giant thing right here. No way I was stopping for that. Thank God I made it over. Just like on the other side too, there were some really good drop-offs that just snuck up, popped up out of nowhere. This one, I swear, was like riding off the side of a building. Now Now, I guess watching it back, I can see that when you get toward the top of that one hill, you could look ahead down the trail and see that you were looking into the tops of trees, which would give you a hint that the trail probably drops away pretty steeply. I'll have to remember that for next time. Now, throughout these videos, there is ample evidence that we are total newbies, or at least I am, and we're still trying to work things out kind of like a puppy. So I see this log, and I pull this giant wheelie for kind of no reason, total overreaction. And now I think I'm kind of like stuck in first gear, totally spazzing out. It's all right. We're young in dirt bike terms. This downhill here kind of caught me off guard. Whoa, almost put me over the bars. Maybe I was getting tired. Gotta keep that body position in the right place. But this actually is the part of the trail that leads down to the entry point. We stop when we get down to the street and have a little powwow about what we're going to do next. That's when the challenges start getting issued. I'm not used to that. Generally, we're a friendly group. Not today. Crowd was a little feisty today. Is it just really small?
I think so.
I thought it was bigger than Foxborough.
I don't know. I went to Rider Planet to just take a quick look, and it said like 8 miles.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna have to go down there and look for the illegal stuff.
There are tunnels that go under 495.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that there's things
I'm
going.
game.
All right, I'm gonna play super dumb. 'Cause I'm good at that.
Well, so off we go, like King Arthur and his knights in search of the Holy Grail. In this case, we're not searching for the chalice from which Christ drank at the Last Supper. We're actually searching for a giant cement drainage tube that leads to more dirt bike riding. So in a sense, I guess you could say it's different, but it's actually really the same.
Oh wait, you gonna investigate it first?
That's crazy.
No, not just go. We get in, there's a giant gate. We can't walk the bikes out backwards. What does it look like?
I guess we fit.
All right, so here it is. In we go to the great unknown. I find this particularly spooky because I'm not very good at riding a dirt bike, and this seems like it would require skill. I was totally looking forward to this. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And, how often do you get to see a quest for the Holy Grail that's actually successful? Going wherever the hell he went. Alright, so we made it. Nobody got hurt. Nobody drowned their bike out. And now, as a special bonus, I finally get to go last, and I can follow Rich around. We never get Rich on camera, not nearly enough. Let's see what he's up to today. as usual, I couldn't keep Rich in sight for too long. It's unfortunate. Hello? Hey, is this thing on?
Yep. I'll tell you what, with the headlight on, definitely helped on that second tunnel. The first one was, it definitely scratched the top of the helmet.
It's sketchy that it's not, it's all like, just fucking have at it, right? Like, there could be some AA guy, like, moving through here.
By some AA rider, I assume Jay was referring to me, absolutely shredding these trails. That's sweet. Well, this is kind of fun here. We get to see comparison in styles and control of the bike. We're going to cut a U-turn here. Jay leans the bike over. Whoop. Nice low rev. Turn around. He's all done. And then I go. And it's a horror show. Oh well. Yeah, so maybe I'm not too good at the whole lay the bike on its side, do a U-turn that way thing, but you know, maybe I'll try the pivot turn where you wheelie and pull the bike over. Alright, maybe I'll try a quarter of a pivot turn, or maybe an eighth of a pivot turn, and then a 16th of a pivot turn, and then I'll just give up and ride back onto the trail. But I'm going to do that.
Oh, this leads back to the something.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think it's down there.
No.
Did I miss a turn?
I don't know. I don't remember that little last section.
I don't remember the mud.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't we just go back where we just were and take a right?
Yeah.
I think that was...
Or is it further up here to the left? Does that go up and down? I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? To me, I'm like...
All right, 55 minutes later, we were totally on track and dialed in, knew exactly where we were, and we never once stopped to ask for directions. Thank you very much.
Hit their head?
Yep.
Twice.
Ow.
What time is it?
What time is it?
10:42.
In the AM?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Look at this fucking crazy thing on your bike.
Whoa.
Holy shit, it jumps.
A crazy long-armed spider?
It had like fucking... Good thing that doesn't get any bigger. I'm not even... Like, I'm good. Like, I'll ride as much as you guys are up for.
Oh,
but I'll also eat a sandwich or whatever, I don't know.
You want to stop for like a banana or something? I'll do that.
I could use a little granola or something.
Alright, so we stopped so that I could refuel. I don't know why I didn't just say I needed to refuel. Inferiority complex, maybe. Anyway, we get going after the short break, and one of the first things we get to is this monster climb. And I see something that I've never seen before, and that's Jay. Defeated halfway up a climb. I'm like, this is my chance, my one chance in my whole life to get up a climb before Jay. I can do it. I can do it. I'm doing it. I think I can. I think I can. I think... come on. Go. Go. You can do it. Come on. Oh, no. That smells great. As we get to the end here, I think Jay shows me a wheel, but he knows this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I think he lets me have it. Thanks, Jay.
Jump that!
I will. All right, well, on that note, let's call a close to this extended recap of the trip to Wrentham. Fantastic day. I'm happy I could show you guys a beta with properly adjusted suspension out on some crazy trails. Thanks to Rich, thanks to Jay. Stay safe. See you at the next one.